Peace, and Black Power family. Welcome to another episode through Knowledge Radio, place where knowledge is born. This is your host, Knowledge Born Allah, and I'm here with the living legends, the epitome of family business. They about the business of family business. This is not clickbait. This is not catfish. You understand what I'm saying? We really got the living legends in the building right now. Black Dot, Malcolm X Browser, aka Dot Son, Urban Excellence at its finest, right here, live on Do Knowledge Radio. I'm ecstatic. I'm excited. You see what I'm saying? These my day ones. So I'm glad at this time to bring forth the microphone to authors. I could say that shit and talk
Facts.
slick with it. Like
Word.
two published authors right here. You understand what I'm saying? Giving us this urban excellent experience right here. You see what I'm saying? So without any further ado, becomes my honor and privilege at this time to introduce some, present to others, the dynamic duo of urban excellence
Peace.
from the
What's
Dot
good?
Dynasty,
What's good?
Black Dot, Dot Son in the building.
Pleasure
Rest in
to be
peace.
here. Definitely. What's good, man?
Hey, I gotta start out by saying to you, Malcolm. I said it to you on the phone. Couldn't nobody see me really. I don't even know if they could hear me. You see what I'm saying? When y'all had the guards in the building, A. Rashid and Brother Oba. You are urban excellence personified.
Thank you.
Like the hope for everything that we were doing, the hope for all of the toil, all of the time, all of the sacrifice, all of it. You are a poster child that there was such a time that we kind of see now is like a thing of the past. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
Thank you.
look,
Thank
we
you.
say it in jest a little bit, but now you was the hope of the generations. You see what I'm saying? And fitting to come from the line that you come from the family line that you come from, that royal family, to actually put it in. You are the hope of the next generation. No pressure, just telling you the real thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because this consciousness now, if you are paying attention, and I know you are, has become like a one and done generation with like everything else.
Mm.
So you are proof, living proof, that this translates to the next generation. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That the generation that are coming up after us, that are picking up the mantle, that are picking up the torch, can actually go forward and Usain Bolt with this shit. You see what I'm saying? So this is real. So I just wanted to say that to you before, we got that all.
I really
That's real.
appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Not too much pressure, but you know. And what I want
You
to add
know.
to that is there was never no pressure from me for him to pick up a torch. It was just
Mm.
show him through the walk that, this is what I do. And hopefully he will see something positive and go, okay, I see it. That's why his book is important. That is his. It ain't urban culture decoded or hip hop decoded part two. It's his work.
Right.
Right.
That's real.
Yeah.
And you D-weighted pops. Your pops is Jordan. You D-weight. You understand?
I like that.
Because
I like that.
your pop,
Now I don't know about that.
No, D Wade the player,
All right.
not the
you,
parent.
hey, pause. Let me clear that up. Let me
Right,
be
right.
clear. I'm talking about in regards to getting the championship.
Yeah,
You see what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Pop had to go through the Pistons in order to pause. He had to go through the Pistons in order to win the championship.
Right.
And once he started winning, couldn't nobody stop him. That's
Right.
Dot. You see what I'm saying? In 3 seasons, you did it. You see what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Right.
Like rookie of the year, boom, playoffs, further in the playoffs, championship. You understand what I'm saying? In
Yeah.
regards to that work ethic, when they were saying fall 7 times, get up 8. You
Facts.
understand what I'm saying? Like that personification. I don't know about that other, you know, Starburst shit, Skittles and shit they got going on. I'm talking about on the court, when we love South Beach. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
LeBron had to be like, yo, I'm going to South Beach.
Facts.
That's how crazy that situation is. You see what I'm saying? So in regards to the fanfare, because your pops with me is still, he's still the J Electronica of consciousness. You understand what I'm saying? Because that was like, yo, '07, I'm putting out blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So, first it was Detox. He was Detox. The J Electronica came on. You see what I'm saying? And he kind of covered up for Dr. Dre
Right,
with the Detox situation.
right,
So it's
right.
still
Yeah.
like, I'm saying. So I'm like, all right, next year Doc got the joint. He like, nah, son, it ain't. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, but it was worth the wait.
But you
You know
know
what I'm
what?
saying? It was
Jay
what?
Electronica said he's dropping this shit. So now that's forcing me to be like,
You got no choice.
I gotta drop.
Yeah,
I gotta drop that.
that's what's up. That's what's up. Um, we here. I wanna big up this offering right here because it means everything. You see what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Even in a generation where people are listening to everything, they're not even picking up physical books anymore. So let's kind of get into this brainchild right here and kind of walk us through the process, if you could, Malcolm, in
So,
regards to this
uh,
urban excellence offering.
I've spoken about a few times that I've always wanted to be an author.
Mm.
Following the example of my pops and my mother, who's an educator as well. So they always kept me in a book. I've always, read books and enjoyed them and seen the value in them. So I always wanted to write. And then once I started the process of actually, putting pen to pad and trying to write, I always stumbled at the same point because uh, my motivation wasn't as strong because of what I was
Right.
actually writing about. And not to say that what I was writing about wasn't is not important at all, but it just at that point it wasn't enough to take me over the point to finish an actual book. And as my pops will tell you, like writing a book is just not as writing a 10-page essay. It's much more that goes into that. So
Right.
I took a pause. Then my pops and I we started the YouTube channel, and during that YouTube channel, I was reaching out to a lot of my peers who were doing amazing things as far as like their own businesses, as far as their entrepreneurial journey. So, in me trying to go back to to write, I started thinking about like what was I actually passionate about, and what was something that helped me through my own process. I wanted to help other people through their own processes. So I reached out to some of my peers again, and I wanted to get their story and what they were doing to get them over the hump to pursue their dreams. And in doing so, in me writing the book, it was actually therapy for me because I was able to um, get myself over that hump because I was reading their stories and getting inspiration directly from them, the source.
I think that's excellent.
Thank
There's
you.
not enough service oriented kind of conversations that I had. You see what I'm saying? Like you could have easily wrote about your life story. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
and I hope that that story still comes true because like we are 5 days away from Al Malik Al Shabazz, brother Omar Malcolm X's transition day. Everybody read the autobiography of Malcolm X. You get a small group of people who read Growing Up X, and Growing Up X is here, and autobiography is down here somewhere. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So you didn't get a chance to hear anything about Malcolm growing up in Canada, speaking multiple languages, all of that story that is there entrenched in his family story
That's important.
versus what they said was reported. You see what I'm saying? So you could have easily done that. So I hope we get, growing up dot. You understand what I'm saying? Growing up dot son or something in the chronicles. You see what I'm saying? In regards to this beautiful family that you come from and sharing that dot dynasty, experience. But to put yourself in a position again, like father, like son, like dot is the epitome of put a nigga on. You understand what I'm saying? And don't blow it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Put you on. Hey, you got a shot. You got a shot. You see what I'm saying? Like the ill part was, from behind the scenes, you might have not known. Like it was 1,000 people that auditioned. You might have got 3 or 4 people. You see what I'm saying? And you never know. You see what I'm saying? The other
Absolutely.
cats they make cut. You ain't see them on the joint. You understand what I'm saying? So that's the kind of process. So to be able to put together a product like this and unveiling extraordinary stories from everyday people, that's the reason for my platform. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
That's like a mandate. Like this happened. Like they're like the conscious community. Then it came to so-called conscious community. Then it became I don't know what this shit is, like a virus, a viral infection or whatever. You see what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? Instead of me being up in arms and be like, yo, this ain't the shit I grew up on, son. I was like, all right, let me go find some people. Let me go find some representatives. Let me go find some ambassadors. And along that way, it's like, all right, let me pull some of these, ordinary people doing extraordinary things. You see what I'm saying? So a
And
thousand
to add to
episodes
that,
later,
King, we have to. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay, we have to change the things we don't like. And that's the problem.
Right,
A lot of times we do a lot of complaining, but the
right,
complaining is not what it's about. So when the conscious community goes through its many changes through social
right,
media, this, that, infiltration of those who don't understand what we're about, it's important that the pillars of the
right.
community, the ones who understand what it's really all about, put a clean glass next to a dirty glass. So what we're seeing is the reemergence of those who truly understand what the original purpose was about, which was about, telling people stories, learning,
Right.
building with each other. So it's good to see that your platform is here because I was waiting. And then I know you had the blog, but I needed people to put a face to the voice because that's just the era that we live in. So now we are all on a string now, and we're gonna link up and we're gonna correct things that we didn't like with positive action.
And in the past episode, y'all talked about it when y'all had Father Rich on about the string. You know what I'm saying? You was like, hey, we need to put together the string. Hey, the string is halfway connected. Let me know what y'all trying to do, and I, the resources, the network, whatever the case may be. You see what I'm saying? So we could put together the 50 interview joint. You see what I'm saying? To push the book, to push whatever we got going on. You see what I'm saying? It's there,
We're gonna have
and y'all not in a position where y'all alienated anybody.
right. We're
That's
gonna
a
have that.
hard road to go after people, after you done alienated, burnt bridges, messed up relationships. You see what I'm
But
saying?
but
So,
but we need each other, and that's the
right,
the ultimate thing is we may not agree on everything. This is not about agreeing on everything. This is about
right,
saying you have a platform and you're moving in the same direction I am, which is to awaken people, give people
right,
information, share a laugh, share a story,
right,
and we need to put that string together because anytime any of our artists, our
right,
authors, our teachers come out, they have to know the immediate moment they drop a creation or something they've worked on that they got at least 50 platforms that is going to be
right.
in alignment to assure that the people get the information because we do ourselves a disservice if we don't.
That's real. That's real. So, Malcolm, you got all of this data, you got all of this intel. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You got the story. What was it like for you to have to be like the editor, the A&R of the joint, and be like, let's leave room for part two or a series or something like that? Like, what was it like for you? Did it come close to home? Like, I can't put everything in this book right here. Did you
No,
get a
I
moment
mean,
like that? And did you kind of,
no, it was pretty easy because like you said, there's so many people with stories out here, and for me to just relegate everybody's story to one book, that's cheating myself. That's cheating everybody who will come in contact with the book. That's cheating everybody who has a story to tell. So it wasn't like hard to pick and choose. It was just for my first book, I just wanted to tell a range of different stories. Some people are entrepreneurs, some people are professionals who are happy with their 9 to 5 job, who want to be successful in their 9 to 5 job. Some people are
hmm
somebody's a new parent, somebody is disabled. I just wanted a wide range of people so everybody can get a total feel of what the urban experience is about. There is no one urban experience. It's not two. It's not three. It's a bunch, and we all have a story to tell. And that's just what I wanted to portray. My next book, if I decide to do a series, which I probably will, it'll be 11 different stories from the first one. You know what I'm saying? Everything
Mm.
can't be the same, and they all can't be stagnant. So, how I decided, I just kind of let the spirit tell me, which was where it was cool, because I had more interviews, but sometimes some of them got deleted, some like freak accidents. So that was just telling me, okay, maybe this one wasn't meant for the book. You know what I'm saying? Or I couldn't get in contact with somebody to get their okay for a certain story that they, you know what I mean? So again, that might be the universe telling me this wasn't the one yet. So I made sure those 11 stories plus my own, so it's kind of 12 stories, were handled with care, because this is not just my just me. Is everybody else had a collective stake in it as well. So I just tried to make sure everything was handled with care.
Okay. And I know y'all are family oriented, family business. So what was that sit down like with everybody? You see what I'm saying? Like how much of that was incorporated into, what you do?
That was just uh, well, I have two of my brothers in the book. I have my
Mm.
youngest brother Eli, and I have my oldest brother Marcus in the book. And they're both stories completely different. Eli has cerebral palsy. He's disabled. Marcus, he is an entrepreneur, so two totally different experiences there. But as far as I guess not making it too personal, I had to use my own just personal discretion when it came to that. And even then, so because I had to conduct face-to-face interviews with them so I can get the information for the book. And even then, there wasn't information in there that they told me that they wouldn't wanted to tell people. So it wasn't hard to do that. I just had to kind of use my own discernment when it came to that. But um, and I would, this is just me personally. I would want, if somebody, one of my family members is writing a like their life story, and I'm included, just don't have me looking crazy. And I get it. Some people have to let that go, but just don't have me looking crazy. But that's not what this book was about anyway. So it was easy to not do that.
And I want to add, from a business side, what it took for my wife. She laid the book out graphics. You know what I mean? She graphically laid the book out. His mom's, you know what I mean, came up with the book concept. So when we
Mm.
say it's a family affair, we literally mean it. And I didn't read no part of the book until the book was actually done. I didn't want to put him under any pressure or say like, well, you should do this or you should do that. And the clever thing, he told these 11 stories. And like he said a few minutes ago, embedded in that was his own story. You know what I mean? It
Right.
was mixing his own story in seeing a reflection of himself in these 11 principles that he chose. So he didn't have to linearly tell you what he did. He just said, I remember when I was going through something similar. So you got a chance to see how brilliant he put this masterpiece together.
Mm. Right. Right. That speaks right there. That's powerful. Hey. I love that. You see what I'm saying? Because that's a story. You're not gonna get that. You don't just share that kind of thing with everybody. You got to be in the right position, right place, right space to reveal that. Um, so I guess my next question is, what did you learn about yourself? You see what I'm saying? And Dot, you could chime in as well. What did y'all learn about yourselves during your writing process? You see what I'm saying? About you, like what was some of y'all biggest takeaways as authors? Creating these masterpieces that y'all did.
Well, for me, this was probably like one of the most mentally taxing tasks I ever had to go through, because writing a book, uh, it's like I said, it's not an essay. You know what I'm saying? When you're in school, you have a 500-word essay, and it's okay, cool, that's it. But as a book, and you want to tell everybody's story. In my case, I want to tell everybody's story correctly, so I didn't want to shortchange anything. And at the same time, like it's some days, I call it the dog days, like where you're writing, and then you look at that word count, and it doesn't look like you've gotten anywhere further than you were the day before. But you just kind of have to keep chipping at that tree. And that's a lesson in life. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times we get impatient because what we want it right away. And sometimes you have to just kind of chip at the tree, no matter what you're doing. You're trying to get back in shape. Tomorrow you're not gonna have a six pack. The next day you're not gonna have a six pack. The day after that, but you just kind of have to just keep going and chipping at the tree. If you want a business, tomorrow you're not gonna have a bunch of money. The next day, but you have to just chipping at the tree. So I just kind of learned that my father tell you that I've always had a problem with my patience, but this forced me to have patience. Like I had no choice because the book is not going to get done tomorrow. Like I have no choice but to just sit here and chip away. And then it showed me the power of just having a routine and having habits, because that's how I got through this. Like I had to create a schedule for myself. I had to create a routine for myself. I had to go to the gym in the mornings. And if you see when I started the book, if you watch the podcast, you see when I started the book to now, and just my physique on screen, you can see it's completely different because I had to kind of just transform myself mentally and physically to get through it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the things I learned about myself, that I even had the capacity to complete something.
And as a Virgo, we analyze and overanalyze. So that's what I was basically also telling him. It's not going to be perfect in the eyes of a Virgo. It never is. But you have to come to a point where you go like, all right, this is good enough. I got it, because we will scrutinize and scrutinize. In terms of my first book, remember I had just found out that I was suffering from kidney failure. And I was on my deathbed, or what I thought was my deathbed. And I wanted to leave something valuable here behind. So I was kind of forced to really just get in a zone, because I felt I was facing or challenging. I was against time. Time was my enemy at that point. And I was saying, I'm not sure I'm going to be in the physical much longer. So let me leave something here for Malcolm and my other kids to have as an offering, and for hip hop to know, what my thoughts were. And then the reason it took me 10 years to write the next book was because I was dealing with the ups and downs of, kidney failure, dialysis, all of the everyday struggles that I was facing. And I just didn't have the time and energy to give up the second offering. So that's why there's a 10-year gap in between books. In terms of physically writing the book, I have so much information in my mind that if my pen could catch up to my mind, I'd have 13 books out. So I have to pick and choose the times, along with being a dad, because each child, you got to give them their time, being a husband, all of these things take time. So when, you hear people tell you their stories, understand there's a story behind the story in which helps them get through what they have to get through. But I promise I won't wait 10 years for the next one. The next one is coming in 2020. I promise you that.
So what did y'all learn about each other? You know what I'm saying? Y'all kind of touched on it. What did y'all learn about each other in this process? You see what I'm saying? The podcast, the books, everything. You see what I'm saying? The business of the business. What did y'all learn about each other?
Well,
share.
What I learned was when he graduated from college, because remember, I set this all in place for him and his brother 10 years ago. 15 years ago, when I did Hip Hop Decoded and started Momi Publishing, which is Malcolm, Odyssey, Marcus, and Eli. You know what I mean? And when you phonetically say it, it sounds like mommy. So that would be my wife. And when you say it backwards, it's Imam, and that would be me. So my vision was in place 15 years ago. They had to kind of catch up to the vision. And, Malcolm kind of toyed with the idea, this, that, yeah, whatever. And then when he came from school and had to go into the real world and go into, get a job and see what corporate America was like, he began to understand, as Virgos do. He looked ahead and said, I don't want to be here 10, 15, 20 years doing this. So then he called me and said, yo, Dad, is that offer still stand? We could do some things. And I'm like, yeah, bro, let's. And I had no other blueprint, but I had 2 books. And I said, well, let's get in where we fit in. So this whole thing over the last 2 or 3 years has been an open book for everyone to watch on Urban X. Us grow from a little small podcast with a shaky camera, dark screens, to now we got a TV behind us, to now we're growing, we're using graphics, to, yo, let's start a company, t-shirt and apparel, and every single thing that we did collectively, we put it out there so that the public can see it, all the mistakes. And like I said on my last podcast, Malcolm had to learn the difference between me being your dad and me being your business partner, which means I can be criticized too, as your business partner, as your dad too. But as a business partner, we have to call each other to the carpet, and we have to really start putting this thing together. My wife, all of us, and here we are, and on the precipice of something we think is going to be really great. Malcolm?
So I would say I learned throughout this whole process, I've learned about just people's different work styles, management styles. Like I know for a fact, like I know now, and I've always known this, but I know like since working on my pops, I know how to introduce an idea to him, right? He needs to feel like it is his idea. So I can say something, right? And then he'll go, I don't know about that. And then I could wait a couple days and he'll say, I'm thinking we should do this. You know what? I just said that 3 days ago. But it makes more sense now, and then we'll get it done. And I know like my stepmoms, I know the way she works where if she at times she can be slow, but sometimes you just got to put the battery in her back, like challenge her to do something. If you just say, we need this, she'll get to it. But if you say like, yo, we need this by a certain time, can you do it? Or I don't know if you can do it. I might just pay somebody else to do it. She won't have any of that. So she's going to do it by herself. And that's how the book cover even came about. She was just like, yeah, because I'm thinking about people I should reach out for the book cover. She was like, nah, I could do it. All right, cool. And then she came, she had like 5 or 6 book covers ready. And then even still, I'm just like, I don't know. And then she tweaked it, and she got better. And we all, what I've learned as well too is like everybody has something they can always work on. Like I have problems with problem solving sometimes, and that's all businesses is finding a problem and trying to solve it. Like, and then there's been instances where I've solved myself, and I couldn't believe I was actually like solving this problem, because that's never been one of my strong suits, but I've gotten better at that. And then patience and just trying to because like he said before, I couldn't get past these are my it's my pops, my stepmother, like they're my elders, and even though I have an idea that I'm really passionate about, I would usually just keep it to myself. But then he told me like, no, this is a business we all have a stake in, and we all have a position here. So speak what's in your mind. And we've had plenty of fights, but I also loved it that we have a fight in the office run. Everybody's arguing. 5 minutes later, all right, man, what's for lunch? Like, let's go get some food, or you know what I mean. And we just it's water under the bridge because it's business. And my father, like, none of us came from like a real business background, so we're all learning, and it's amazing to see what we're all learning at the same time. Everybody's skills have increased, even from a year ago, because last year we started the apparel business and we didn't know what we were doing. We were just kind of thrown into the fire. And then now, if a machine messes up, I know how to fix the machine, or the software messes up. T knows how to get into the software and correct what mistakes need to be corrected. Pops knows how to do things, like how to design a shirt. So we all have improved greatly. And I'm just excited to see what we got next, because what comes out of us next, because I know what we have laid out, but I'm excited to see what that'll bring out of us.
Y'all just got a shout out from Ghana. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
My
peace.
sister, Akuya,
Peace.
Queening out there. She wanted to know recent repatriate. You see what I'm saying? So, the Klansmen is getting their wish. They was like, why don't you just go back to Africa? And black people was like, all right, fuck it, let's go. You
Yes,
understand? So they're going,
yes,
and they have been going for a long time. And she's doing tours and things like that. So she wanted to know what the name of the book was, so they could get it over there in Ghana. You see what I'm saying? Urban Excellence.
and
So it's
that's on
going
our
down.
list. That's on our
It's
list to
going
get
down.
over to Ghana as well.
All right. So yeah, definitely great opportunities and great lessons that are learned. Like oftentimes, until you have something truly invested, you don't really know what's really at stake. A lot of us, we have families, and because of technology, everybody's in their own zone. They don't come together for nothing. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? They don't eat together no more. It ain't none of that. It's just everybody's virtually plugged into the matrix and giving their offerings and contributions out there. You see what I'm saying? So I'm glad that y'all found a medium and a cause that would bring everybody together so everybody could collectively be heard and seen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
With a vested interest in its success. Because that's our family. You see
that's
what I'm
our
saying? In essence, when you strip away all of this other stuff foundationally at its core, this is our family. You see what I'm saying? Optimally functioning. All the other stuff is extra. You see what I'm saying? So
facts.
that's really beautiful. That is again urban excellence personified. I love the fact that it says, on the book, you see what I'm saying? Through their stories, let us create our definition of excellence, our definition. You see what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? So when we start talking about those seven principles of Kwanzaa, we
Yes,
name ourselves. You see what I'm saying? And we create this whole thing. And this is what we got into it for. You see what I'm saying? It's out of love that we're here. You
absolutely.
understand what I'm saying? And out of love for who we are, and we want to see us continue in our future. You see what I'm saying? So this is the essence why we're fighting. So it's not, about hatred or anything. You see what I'm saying? It's really about love and essence. So that took me back to like 12 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Out there in Germany, like the last time I see my mom's on the planet physically. You see what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes,
I was out there, Black Dot, my mom's, A. Rashid, True Master. I said if the world was going to know me in any kind of likeness, they would see my mother first. You see what I'm saying?
absolutely.
So, being around my mom's right there, um, reflecting on your book, Malcolm, I'm a little biased, and what I'm saying, I'm a little biased. Eli's story is my favorite story. You know what I'm saying? A little biased. It's a little biased. You see what I'm saying? Uh, because it spoke to my soul. Like that heard my mother give my origin story, my family history in an hour and a half, and mix jokes in there. You understand what I'm saying? The anecdotes, and she got into the sacred science of healing in an hour and a half. Told our whole family story and honed in the first part of my story. You see what I'm saying? My birth story, the conditions surrounding my birth, everything that I went through in the hospital, everything. The first year of my life was chronicled in that space. So she told my story. You see what I'm saying? So when I hear like a KT the Arts degree story, when I hear Eli's story, you see what I'm saying? Like my mom met Eli, I didn't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't even know. Like real, like so, like y'all met my fam. Like y'all know the essence from where I came from. My mom came to the crib. I didn't even know that. You see what I'm saying? So y'all saw her another time outside of me. You see what I'm saying? Like when she left, that was the last time I saw her physically. You see what I'm saying? So this is like a family situation. You see what I'm saying? Like they was like, oh, y'all got a family. You know what I'm saying? So it's really to see everything interwoven in this process and this offering that you're giving. You see what I'm saying? So if I can ask you, my mama told me she ain't got no favorite children. You understand what I'm saying? She she had to shit. You know what I'm saying? So for you, if you could pick a story today, I won't just say overall. I say today, if you could pick a story today, what's your favorite story today and why?
My favorite story today, if I could pick, I would honestly pick. Okay, and here's another point I like to point out. Everybody who's read the book has a different story they like the most, and that's been one of my goals. Like I wanted somebody to pick something different, and if we reach the end of the book, I said I wanted people to be able to return to the book at any point of their life and be able to identify with the book somehow. So without saying too much, without giving away too much in the book, I would say my favorite story right now is my friend Tia's story. She's the one who
Mm,
created the Facebook group for you know, young mothers out there because she was a young mother and she found out she had a really tumultuous pregnancy, and her mother had passed away when she was young, so she didn't have her mom there to guide her through that, and she looked for a community, so she created a community called Millennial Mothers, MUVAS, and that has helped her, with the entire process. So and that's still like a light brush over the story, but that's probably one of my favorite stories right now.
all right, all right. That up here real quick for the people. Go get activated. Can we talk about this promotion? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be buying shit until I ain't got no more money in February. Just 29 for 29. You know what I'm saying? 29 for the 29. You know what I'm saying? Can we talk about that? You see what I'm saying? What kind of prompted that? Let's get into that modality if we could.
Yeah, well, last year around this time, we had just got the equipment, embroidery machines, heat presses, all of that stuff about a month before. And we were toying with trying to figure it out. But when February came, we said, let's give a 28 for 28 sale, everything $28 for the 28 days. And we were so overwhelmed by how many orders came in. We would
Mm,
here, it was so chaotic because we didn't know what we were doing. One time, I swear, we had about 10 orders on the table and we had no paperwork for who these orders were for. And we started arguing with each other, like, yo, where did this come from? Who did this? So it became crazy, but it was us going into the fire full steam ahead. You know what I mean? And so
mm,
many people were showing support for this family business. You know what I'm saying? That we were overwhelmed, but we made it. And once we made it, we was like, whoa, it's sometimes it takes stuff like that to know what you about and what you built, from. So
mm,
this year around, we said, no, we prepared. Now we had a whole year, go past goal, collect $200. You know how it is. So this time it's
right.
29 days. So we're doing the same thing, but we have a handle on it a little bit more because we know what we're doing. So this same process, there's so much stuff on our website shopurbanx.com. But most of the things on there is $29 for the 29 days. And we got an app. If you go to your iOS or Apple App Store, you get the app Urban Excellence. And for the first time on your show, we're mentioning it. If you get the app, there's going to be a code in there where you get additional 29% off things that are
Mm,
$29, but you got to have the app. If you don't have the app and you don't download the app, then you don't get that code and we can't process that. So for those who get the app, it's 29 for 29 for 29. How about that?
mm. That's deep right there. If you don't get the app, fam, it's a wrap.
It's
After
a
the
wrap.
fact,
You understand? If you don't get the app, it's a wrap, fam. So get the app, so it's not a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Um, I knew that there was some discussions before, so I kind of want to ask, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? Is there like the book tour? You know what I'm saying? In the works. How can people get down if it is? Are y'all taking bookings? Who handling that? How do people get you? Lined up 2020, 2021 in their city.
Well, I'm
For the
trying
book
to get
signings.
Malcolm into the fire. I've been into the fire 20 years. I know what it's like to be on a book tour, travel, this and that, but this is his moment. You know what I mean? So I want him to be prepared. The world out there is great. You're going to meet people along the way who truly love the work you do, respect you, and they want to throw their hands around you and thank you. So we're
Mm-hmm.
telling people now, if you want to book Malcolm, you know what I'm saying? You can go to urbanx.nyc@gmail.com and you can, inquire there. We'll have an official phone number soon. But I will travel with him in certain instances if the price is right, and
Right.
people want to see me and him do our thing. But at some point, and I'm always preaching this to Malcolm, you got to fly the nest. You got to fly the coop, young man, and you got to create your own path and your own world and your own, history. And I have zero problems with that when he got to tell me, Dad, you're fired. And I told him that because everything I'm doing here is a labor of love to lay a foundation for him, his older brother, Eli, because Eli has some amazing things coming down the pipe very soon as well. So we all in Odyssey. My daughter's in college. She's at the youngest stage. She's the baby trying to figure out what she wants to do. But this is Malcolm's time, and he's going to have to grab the bull by the horns and go for it. Go out there, meet the people, sell your book, tell your story to the world. And Dad will be here to help you when need be. But it's time to fly the nest, baby. Time to fly the nest.
That's that after Earth shit right there. He gonna be
Yeah.
in your head like where it was with Jaden. I love that movie. You know what I'm saying? I love that movie,
Yeah.
and I don't think that it got enough, you know, support and love. For what it was. You see what I'm saying? At the end of the movie, Jaden was like, "Yo, I just want to be with mom, Joe. It's a wrap. I'm good. I'm good." You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that'd be phenomenal. And whatever I could do to help aid and assist as well, you see what I'm saying? Definitely on that. Let me know 100%. So I guess for you, what well before I get to that, you had the experience. You see what I'm saying? Everybody came out. The football game was playing. What was that like for you? Like I know, like it had my heart pumping a little harder, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I'm on that motherfucker like with Jay and them said, nigga, we made it. You know what I'm saying? Like that Biggie Brooklyn, the Source Awards with Brooklyn. He had the towel over his head like Brooklyn, we did it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we like, what was it like for you? What was it like, uh your experience with that happening, with that event?
So the book signing, I was like so nervous about that because like I'm the type to not throw a birthday party because I don't know if anybody's gonna come. And everybody, all my
Mm,
friends look at me like, oh, you being crazy. But that's how I was feeling. Like I was just like, yo, hope just people show up, you know what I'm saying? And the reception I got, the people that so many people came from Detroit, Ohio, like Indiana, like it was crazy, and I was so appreciative of it, and I was just trying to just take it all in. You know what I mean, I just was so grateful that everybody came, and even though like I was always taught, like my parents, like everybody always taught me, like when you want something bad, you have to see it first. And that book
mm,
signing, even though I saw it in my head, like at a different location, but I saw it for so many years because like like I said, I wanted to be in Northern for a long time. So, and when I think back, like I did see that. You know what I mean? I did see my whole family there, my whole team just there working everything. I saw my pops there moderating. I saw it all there. You know what I'm saying? And like it was incredible. Like I can't really put words. I can't really express it in words. Like it was really incredible. All the love that they like, I can actually feel love. Like I don't know if you ever been in that position. You could just kind of feel the warmth of everybody just really there for you, and it was
mm,
incredible.
And I always preach that when you first come out, uh, it's important that the village supports you and shows respect. So whenever I do a book signing or put out a new product, an album, I always call the village together first. Family, friends, the ones who
mhm,
truly respect and love you. And I put on a
mhm.
celebration with them first. You know what I
Right.
mean? And give them the offering. They can see the hard work that went into it. They'll give me their honest opinions. And then I'll go tackle the rest of the world because the village is there for that. To say, we got you, we support you. Here's our money. Nobody asking for discounts. Everybody
Mm.
came in the building reaching in their pocket, like, let's get it. You know what I mean? And I needed Malcolm to see that so that he can have the confidence to know that his hard work wasn't in vain. And now it's time to move forward. So it really was a very magical event for us.
I needed my copies off the rip. I needed my joints off the rip. I'm like, yeah, I need that. blah blah blah. They do some giveaways later, but I needed my joint off the. Let me get mine. Putting on event
Yes,
stuff,
sir.
hard, and you could never have enough. There's always something. You get there, it's like yo, blah, blah, blah. So you don't want to be scrambling in the situation. You want the thing to be ease. You already got enough anxiety with it already. You see what I'm saying? And I'm glad that you shared those things. You see what I'm saying? Um, so putting on an event now. Let's shift the gears into that. And I gotta ask the same question myself. What did y'all learn? This event situation. Time under your belt, event wise. You see what I'm saying? But let's kind of get that viewpoint in regards to
But
what was that
this
like.
one, this one was tough because we went above and beyond for his book signing. So we
Mm,
wanted everything to be perfect. So us three, we were here breaking night. We had no time frame, and because it was just us, we had to print out 300-400 shirts. We had to
mm,
get the alcohol ready for those who drink. We had to cater food. We had these banners, and
mm,
we had these banners that Malcolm didn't even know about. So certain things he knew we were doing, and certain things me
mm,
and my wife were doing on the low. So it got to the point where that Wednesday we told Malcolm this that Thursday, this is your last day. You know what I mean? We'll see you Sunday at the book signing. And even the last 3 days, uh, me and wifey, because it was just me, and we had to load a truck. It was me, my
mm.
wife, and Odyssey. And I ain't worked that hard physically in years. God, I'm a supervisor now. I supervise.
Works,
You know what
bro.
I mean? And then we had to
Yeah.
load it. And when we got to the spot, there were people who were there who were helping us, people who came from out of town who just started helping us. And we made this event so amazing. But we learned about deadlines. We learned that,
Mm,
we got to be zeroed in and focused. And we had to cross off things. We had to think about each and every scenario. But what if this happens? What if it snows? What if this happens? What if the elevator's not working? How do we? So we really had to work through stuff. And when you got a
mm,
small team, and I'm telling the family this, it requires a lot. Now, hopefully for his next book, our company will grow. We'll have a bigger team, and we could delegate things a little bit more. But on the
right,
grassroots level, we got to be the executives. We got to be the intern. We got to be the laborers. So it
right.
really was a lot.
Yeah, and one of the things that we learned also is that you can't put on an event like that overnight. Like we were planning that back in November, October, am I right? Because even then, because the book was done uh, August, right? The book was done in August. It got edited. The cover was right, and then we sent it off to the printer in September. And me rushing because I just wanted the book out. I was thinking, yo, let's put the book out end of November. Like let's end of November, and then all right, let's do it December. And then everybody had to talk to me like, yeah, I think we'd be better off pushing it out. We'll be better able to promote. You'll be better able to, pre-sale a book, get the anticipation and stuff ready. So I said, okay, bet. And then again, my pops he used my strategy on me because I thought to myself like, yo, I think after he said this, I took a few days and I came back. I'm like, yo, I think I should put the book out in January. And he was just like, cool, I was waiting on you to say that. We already agreed that you just say no, but we already agreed that you should. So that we learned how to, like you said, crossing our T's because we had to even write stuff on the board, like the smallest things, like what type of chips, like make sure what type of drinks go with this. Like we had to make sure that
Mm,
every little detail because the people that came, if they would have understood that it was really three of us that kind of put it together, the rest of the family helped set everything up, but everything was just from the brains of us three. They would be amazed. I don't think they would probably believe it. For the people that didn't come, you know what I'm saying? Even the people that did come didn't believe it. That all of that came from us.
And to add to that, um, when we pushed it back to January, And sometimes you don't know why you do certain things, Lord. And
Mm.
the money got a little short, because we expected some stuff. And had we did it in November or December, it wouldn't have been as grand. But you know how the spirit work. An extra bump of
Right.
cash came through, and I said that was the
Right.
reason this was pushed back. Now we can get the extras we need, and it becomes amazing when you reflect. You go, wow, that's why. So I'm always telling Malcolm, things happen for a reason. And it's important that we understand we don't run red lights. If the universe is saying that's not a go, it's a reason the universe is saying that's not a go. And it will make sense later. And we go, wow, man, the spirit kept telling me, don't do this because of this and that. Because when that extra bump of cash came, oh, it was gravy. We was like, now we can do what we really want to do and turn up, turn up.
Grandma was like, "That's my grandbaby. Hold on, let me put in. Let me put in. You understand what I'm saying? So I am like that. You see what I'm saying? They like, all right, let's see. If you at here, bomb, here you go. You see what I'm saying? Out of no way. You see what I'm saying? But it is the way. You see what I'm saying? So that way comes out of
Absolutely.
that's the way. So it's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And even on this side, like I
And
was
that
saying
comes with
earlier,
wisdom.
like even from my experience, 20 years behind the camera, behind the background, facing, and 20 years, I'm out here now. I can't go back in. You see, yourself, you can't. See
Facts.
what I'm saying? So it's there and it's moving, and
That's it.
opportunities
It's
are
here.
presenting themselves like none before. You see what I'm saying? So just riding that and seeing what that's like because it's new for me. You see what I'm saying? So out there, and then for you to say like, yo, I was waiting on this. That's a big deal. That's heavy. That's major. You see what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And if you'd have been like, yo, Lord,
Absolutely.
handle that, you know what I'm saying? It might have been sooner. You see what I'm saying? Like directly, but it's like, all right, let me see where
But
you
I know
at. Boom.
everything happens in time. And I know when you was
Right.
ready, you was gonna present it. And I'm like, good, because now that part of the string is already sewed up. Now we gotta
Mhm.
sew up some other strings and we're gonna move forward for 2020 like never before.
All right. Yeah, from day one of me coming what is known world now. You see what I'm saying? From episode, you see what I'm saying? Have it. You see what I'm saying? Just being honest in an ode to what this is. So, this is a differentiator. I'm like, who this dude? Oh, that Sutek.
You're
Oh,
right, right,
okay. All right. All right. You see what I'm saying? Like people don't just show up. They're like, okay, so they scrambling around trying to figure out. Then
nah.
we go back. You see what I'm saying? Some years, so it's a different experience.
Mhm.
Um, I don't want to keep y'all too much longer. I just want to see um what thoughts, what takeaways which I want to share with the family. Anything that y'all could share about things that y'all got coming up, and some of the things that y'all want to people to take away from y'all writings and these gifts that y'all presenting to the people.
Malcolm, okay. Uh we got a couple of another major announcements to make. We just can't make them yet. Malcolm
Hmm.
has to learn. He was like, "Let's get it." I said, "No, when the timing is right, we'll make these announcements." We're continuing to grow. We're continuing to build the podcast, the YouTube channel, and other things. The business. Like I said, Eli has some major announcements coming that he's going to be ready to, bring forth. And we just want your continued support at shopunbanx.com, file 29 for 29 sale. Get the app for the 29 for 29 for 29 sale. Go to like I said, urbanx.nyc at gmail.com if you're interested in advertising on our channel or just booking us or supporting. And Malcolm's book is also on Amazon, Walmart, Target. It's everywhere books are sold. So, but if you get it from us at Shop Urban X, you get an extra 25% off and you get a signed copy. So I would advise you to go to shopunbanx.com to make that happen. Malcolm, it's on you.
So for the people that watch us, I just want y'all to take away that we are like really we're really grassroots. This is a family business in every sense of the word. This is a podcast, YouTube channel, blog by committee. Like we all put in some type of elbow grease to get this thing going. And what you guys see, we can seem disorganized sometimes. I saw somebody say that in the comments once. I'm just like, dog, we do a lot. Like if you understood the amount of work we do a lot here. And we appreciate all the support, like all the people who have been with us. We appreciate it. Like I don't think people understand. Like when we had 100 subscribers, we were happy because that's 100 people that want to hear us. You know what I'm saying? And now we're grown. We have over 44,000 subscribers now on YouTube. And again, we treat that as if it's a million. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate all the support, all the love. We appreciate the fact that you guys are growing with us. You're seeing our mistakes. You're seeing our successes. And we just want to keep continuing to make you proud, not wasting you guys' time and not taking your support for granted.
Well said.
And y'all offer a balanced approach. You know what I'm saying? I was doing an interview with Doggy Diamonds on his platform, and he was like, "Who do you recommend?" And I was like, "I don't recommend nobody." Then I had to go back again and said, "Yo, my bad. Hold up, Black Dot." You see what I'm saying? And Malcolm, yeah, Urban X. He was like, "Yeah, Urban X." I was like, "What the fuck am I doing?" You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I had to remember because there's a thing that. And the reason why I said it wasn't like I was shutting out everybody. I was saying like people have to find their own path and see, what you akin to. You see what I'm saying? But I had to remember the point of reference. You see what I'm saying? Now I got the point of references. You see what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, what's the point of reference? This is not something that I'm saying just to say. This is something that I know from field study. Like we was in Baghdad, Iraq. You see what I'm saying? I was giving cats was like, "What y'all doing?" I give them a dot DVD, and if they didn't die, you see what I'm saying? Like if they have some spontaneous combustion, then we can have a conversation. You see what I'm saying? So dot really was the point of reference. You see what I'm saying? So I was sowing them seeds for about 2 years before I introduced the concept and say, okay, I want to bring them to Germany. You see what I'm saying? So it was a situation where we were in a tumultuous type of situation, and the thing that was keeping us at a state of homeostasis was this information. You see what I'm saying? This
Absolutely.
information in hip hop. So I got the best of both worlds with Black Dot with a hip hop approach to this information. You see what I'm saying? And it was keeping us from suffering from some of these maladies that war will bring you through. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Death, loss, pain, trauma, already mixing with what you already inherited. You see what I'm saying? My mother translated that as inherited weaknesses. You see what I'm saying? So it's there. You know what I mean? So I definitely want to say salute to both of y'all. Salute to the dynasty. You understand what I'm saying? For
Absolutely.
continuing putting this all together. You see what I'm saying? So peace and love to y'all. Peace and love to your family. Love and honor to wifey, to
Absolutely.
to Marcus, and to the Book of Eli. You understand what I'm saying? The Book of Eli,
Okay, Eli.
un, 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 uneffwittable. You
You
see what I'm
just
saying?
you
So,
just struck onto something because that's the new segment that we're
mm,
introducing next week. It's called the Book of Eli. So this to show you how
yeah,
synchronicity works. And we're gonna do it in the sports sense since this shows the sports. So Eli, what's the book on Alex Rodriguez? Eli, what's the book on Kobe Bryant? And he's gonna sit down and be
right,
able to give you his intake. So you just hit on something. Shout out my man Gemini Keys for coming up with that
right.
concept. But that just goes to show you how synchronicity works, Lord.
That's
We
that
on it.
Gemini shit, right? You see what I'm saying? I'm a Gemini. Y'all Virgo. Y'all got that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know how
man.
it go.
Yeah. Mercury's out. Your planet and my planet. We the closest to the sun. You already know.
That's right. That's it. That's it. All right. So love to y'all, man. Y'all made this fantastic. We out of here, family. Make sure y'all support. Get that 29 for the 29, the 29 for the
Hey,
29. You
that's
understand what I'm
right.
saying?
Get that app.
Peace.
Peace.